Yo, 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 Picks and Parlay family. It's me, Detroit Lenny, here with another episode of the Bet Win Repeat show. It is, what is it? It's Friday the 16th? 16th. Yeah. Tim got me a nice little Valentine.
Oh, yeah, I did.
He did. He wore a green hat for me. I don't know. I told him it was Valentine's Day.
I wanted to look good.
I told him to put a collared shirt on and a hat. Nice hat. He put a green fedora on. And a purple ECU
collared shirt. It was nice enough, dude. That was as good as you were gonna get.
Oh, now it's just nice enough. Tim, I don't like your attitude. Welcome though to the show, guys. Listen, not a lot going on today. We do this weekly. Not a lot going on today. This is one hockey game and like maybe 10 basketball games, college basketball, no NBA All-Star weekend. So we thought this would be a great time to talk some baseball. Today's the day. First of all, college baseball starts today. Bang.
Yep.
And we could probably get in some MLB futures. Talk a little MLB futures, some college baseball. It's all baseball all the time. I wish I had my baseball.
And I will say, we get to start off the year with one in the win column. Indiana State. Plus 120, already off and running in college baseball. 8-7 win. 8-7 win versus Louisville. We were watching Indiana.
We were watching Duke, Indiana. Yeah. Prior to the show starting, guys, we were behind stage. We were watching some Duke, Indiana college baseball. So, what are our thoughts, Tim Earl? We'll start with you on college baseball. What are we thinking here? Well, how do you treat college baseball? Because I know you guys don't put it for premium plays or best bets on the site. It's not on the site or anything like that, but we are going to do a couple free pick videos throughout the week, randomly, me and Tim, just to, it's even worse. It's like more of a niche than like hockey. Like people that watch college baseball. So
you really
what are your thoughts on college baseball?
It's a sport that you can't just wing. There's no just, I'm going to bet this team because they all look good. Doesn't work that way. You need to dive deep into it. You got to know the pitchers. You got to know. It's like betting the MLB, except for you have to do a little bit more digging because the information is not as in your face as the MLB.
Yes.
So, you got to look at where some of these pitchers played. Where they went to high school. Did they transfer in from another college? Did they go to a junior college beforehand? How did they pitch the year before? Were they coming out of the bullpen and now they're starting? Like you got to know some of these things. You also got to know the teams because I will say there's a team that if you just bet college basketball, you're not going to know because nobody's really heard of a school called Dallas Baptist, who is one of the better. They are one of the better non-Power 5 college baseball teams in the nation. They're always ranked. They're always in the brackets. So you got to keep an eye out for certain schools that you might not have heard of. Obviously, if everybody here bets college basketball, you've heard of most of these schools. But you got to just keep an eye on that. And just kind of you got to follow. Yeah, it's the same with college basketball, but
yeah.
You got to dig a little
bit. I think college basketball takes more of a center stage on a national market than college baseball. You know what I mean? You can catch a college basketball game on anywhere.
Correct.
Sometimes it's hard to watch college baseball, though. But yo, Joe Kryptonite's in the house. What up, Joe? Guys, don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff for the channel and everything as well. Nick Earl, what are your thoughts on college baseball? By the way, Pittsburgh up 7-3 over Maine in the third.
I really don't bet it as much as Tim does. I'll go to a lot more games just like East Carolina, but I mean I don't cap it the way Tim does. I just enjoy it.
Tim's Rain Man when it comes to college baseball. I'm telling you, sometimes it's he just sends me, like last year, hopefully we repeat this year, he will just send me his college baseball plays and be like, hey, I like this. And I'm like, oh, okay. Bang, 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 bang.
They're all up on my Twitter, so.
Oh yeah, you could. Yeah, there you go. You could follow Tim on Twitter. What's the Twitter? Put your little thing in.
Yeah, I'll put the link to the actual post in the chat.
Oh well, I don't know if this one's still good. At Bets Earl.
That's the Earl Sports Bets one, but
well, don't follow them. Those guys are weird.
Well, that's the one that has all like the shows on and all that stuff.
I know, messing with you. Under 4.5 in the NHL game tonight seems tempting.
I am not on anything in that game.
I got nothing on that.
My only lean, and I want to see when the line comes out for it, what it's going to be. The only thing I'm really looking at is Corral Mamelka saves. Other than that, I'm not really diving too deep into it. I'm going to look more. I'm going to start capping tomorrow in a little bit here.
Fair enough. By the way, Duke's over Indiana 5-2, top of the 7th. So, all right. So we covered college. Let's talk baseball. Let's talk MLB. Let's talk big boy baseball. Now we have some thoughts on that as far as we see where everybody stood last year, everything like that. What are your initial, some future bets? I'm not a big future guy. Like I like to, I don't want to say pretend, but kind of like I'll track them, but I don't like to tie up my money that long. It's a long season. I don't even like to do that in NFL, and that's a shorter version. You know what I mean? And MLB is just forever. So I don't like to do it as much, but some props that or I guess futures I like. What do you guys? I mean, I'm really big into the AL Central. Obviously, my Tigers are there, but there's some other futures in there that I don't hate either. What? Nick Earl, start with you, Nick Earl. Tim, you just settle down.
There's a couple I'm looking at. I really haven't bet any yet. There's one that kind of pops out to me the most though. Now we are focusing on the Miami Marlins for this one here, and we're going to look at them to go under their win total of 77.5 this year. This is a team that I believe when I looked at it won the most one-run baseball games last year. They had they won 84 games last year. They went 84-78. Their expected win amount based on their run differential was 78 wins. So they were, it was 75 wins. They massively overachieved. And other than the Cincinnati Reds, they won the most one-run baseball games last year. Now, when you look at this Marlins roster, they're not what they're kind of a weird roster. And their rotation's going to take a step back this year because their best pitcher is not going to be available this year. Sandy Alcantara has had Tommy John surgery. Luzardo is going to be fine. Then they have Yuri Perez, Braxton Garrett, Edward Cabrera, Trevor Rogers. I just think it's very meh. And I think that this team takes a step back this year. I think they overachieved last year. And this is one of those that I'm looking at under 77.5 wins with the Miami Marlins. That's what I was kind of looking at there.
Tim Earl?
I mean, I don't mind that. I know you mentioned your AL Central. I'll go over there real quick. I'm big on the Royals this year. I have them over their win total.
Yes. 72. I got it at 72.5, and I do think that's too low, but I'm not as high on them as you are. Let's say that.
I got them over 72.5 wins. I got them to make the playoffs. That's 4-1 and 850 to win the division. I also have player props involved with that team because if I think that team's going to do well, obviously I think some players are going to go do well. Bobby Witt, I think, is going to have a fantastic year. I have his MVP prop. I believe that's 18-1. And then I'm big on Reagans for Cy Young. I think he's going to be a young stud, and that kid's going to be good coming up. So that's kind of one team that I have a decent chunk invested into.
I think, speaking of that division, I kind of like Minnesota and the Twins under the 86.5. I think they're going to underachieve there this year. I I think they're going to be just to take a little bit of a step back. I think it opens the door. Maybe it's just me as a Tiger fan wanting other teams to creep into there. I think Kansas City is going to be a decent team. I think they finish. I think honestly, obviously, I think the Tigers win the division, but after that, I think it's Cleveland and Kansas City, and
I don't think Cleveland's that good. I don't think Cleveland's good.
You don't think so?
Now,
I think they're decent.
I think they're going to lack offense, and that's going to be their ultimate downfall is their offense, because I love their pitching, and I'm really hoping for a step up, a big year for Mr. Gavin Williams on that rotation. And if he can come in and he's a solid 2-3 starter,
right?
That kind of builds up your rotation. But I don't think this Cleveland team is going to be all that good. I think they're going to be sellers at the deadline.
I think they finished 76 wins last year. Their total's at 77.5. I think it's right. Like they probably 70. Like I don't know if they break 80, but they're high 70s. I think that total's pretty.
I think they're 71, 72.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to be good.
The Tigers are obviously a 100-win team, so there takes a lot of wins right there.
Well, you also got to keep in mind with these crappier divisions. So both the Centrals, they don't have to play as many games. They don't get to play as many games against Central opponents because they went from 19 games per division team to 13. So they don't get to play.
You don't just get to beat up on your division.
They don't get to play their division 19, or that would be 19, so 76 times a year.
Right.
They have to play other teams, 19, which
taking 6 away.
Instead of getting those extra matchups, all of a sudden the Tigers are going to have to play the Dodgers and the Phillies. And they're going to have to play all the other teams more. And I think it's going to really mess with that division. That's why the highest win total in that division is what? 83.5 with the Twins?
85.5.
85.5? Because that division's not going to be good. And they don't get as many games. And it's the same deal with the NL Central.
I think the AL Central is going to be decent, though.
I don't.
I mean, not decent. They're going to give teams hard. They're going to be like scrappy. They're going to give some teams some trouble. That division is. Minus the White Sox. They suck.
Oh, yeah. The White Sox are going to be bad. But those two divisions, both the Centrals, are not going to be anywhere close to the East or Western divisions. Not even close. Because you look at those, and then you look at the NL West with the Dodgers, who are going to be a 100-win team, 102-win team. You got the Diamondbacks that I think are going to be solid again. Nick likes the Padres. The Giants are in there. You never know. I have the Rockies over 60.5 wins. I think they could possibly win 65, 70 games.
That might be the worst team in baseball.
No.
I just think that, like, for example, like normally in the AL Central, I'm just talking on that. 80 wins that division because it's just always sucked. I think you're going to need 85, possibly 90 to win that division. 90 is probably a stretch. But I think you're going to need every one of the like 85, 80.
You're going to have, in order to, 85 wins max for the AL Central champion. And it's the same deal with the NL Central, where I know they lost Corbin Burns. I still think this Brewers team could be interesting.
Oh God!
But we'll see how that goes.
Stand that team. And it's all selfish. I just can't get on the right side of them. Never have. Whatever.
I think they're going to be one of those. I think they're going to be one of those teams that nobody really expects to do all that well. Oh, they just lost Corbin Burns. Oh, they just lost Hauser and
probably get Bryce nice on it.
Yeah, but at the same time, I could look at them and go, well, I think their lineup's better. Gotten better. You add Reese Coppins, that's a nice power bat in the middle of the lineup. Like that, I think there's a lot to be happy about for Brewers fans still, even with no Corbin Burns. And the fact that you're in a division with the Pirates that I'm not super high on. The Reds, who I think overachieved heavy last year. You got the Cardinals, which, sure, Cardinals could be live, but I'm not really buying on them yet. And the Cubs are a big question mark to me right now. So when I look at it, the Brewers are the only team that I really can see making that step up this year.
I don't hate the Reds.
And they also got a couple of young pitchers coming up that I think could be pretty solid. So I do like the Brewers, and I want to take I think I took the Reds underneath their win total.
82.5.
I did not touch the Reds.
I don't like that total right there at 82. I mean, last year they had 82. I think they were. If they take the over, which is juiced to the over, like minus 120, I think if you get the over, it's like by a win or two. Like it's a hold your nose all damn season. They get 83 wins and you cash that, and for me, minus 120 on a future to tie up all year, that ain't worth it, So, what else you like, Nick Earl? How do we feel about the Dodgers? We talked a little bit about the Dodgers before the game.
I was just about to mention, I want to talk about two teams in the National League West. The first one, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, and I do not care. The Dodgers are not winning 105 games this year. I mean, you're asking a lot to go right with that team. That rotation, I think, is still iffy because they're either injured. Now, they should be getting Walker Buehler back sometime this year. Julio Urias hasn't been re-signed by this team. He was a big part of your rotation. Who knows if he's going to be playing with you this year. Yamamoto is unproven. Tyler Glasnow could be a glass cannon where he can be really, really good, but gets injured way too often. Bobby Miller's still unproven. James Paxton's not good. And Emmett Sheehan's still unproven. I think this is a Dodgers team that their starting pitching may hold them back. Granted, if you like the Dodgers in games this year, don't be laying run lines, people. Team total overs. They've got a hell of a lineup, but I think they're going to give up a lot of runs, and they're going to play a lot of 8-6 type of baseball games this year. I mean, Betts, Freeman, Ohtani, Smith, Muncy, Outman, Hernandez, Hayward, and Lux. That's a hell of a lineup. But when you look at what they have for pitching, I'm not sold on this team winning 105 baseball games this year. I like them under their win total there. Does that mean I think they're going to be a bad team? No, I think they're a 100-win baseball team this year. And I think that's a reasonable expectation. 100 wins easily wins the division for them. On the flip side here, I'm going to look for a team that wins some games this year. And Tim mentioned it a little bit there, touching on how I like this team this year. This is two of my favorite futures heading into the season as well. It is those San Diego Padres. Over 82.5 wins and to make the playoffs at plus 210. And when you look at the San Diego Padres team for starters, last year, when you look at expected wins compared to actual wins, they had the largest discrepancy in that metric where they had 10 more expected wins than actual wins. They won 82 games with 92 expected wins and 104 plus 104 run differential. This was one of the best teams that I've seen only win 82 games ever. And they were 2-12 in extra inning games. Like they're going to positively regress. And you're saying they got that they got worse or they stayed the same? I think that this team is only going to positively regress. Now, the one thing, the huge question mark for them here is will they re-sign Blake Snell, who is their Cy Young pitcher? But still then, you have, I think, 3 solid starters in the top end of your rotation with Joe Musgrove, Yu Darvish, and Michael King. I see a decent amount for Michael King here. And then when you look, I think there's a couple players in their farm system to keep an eye out as well. Somebody, where was it? Someone like Drew Thorpe starting in Double-A, but he's the 12th ranked prospect in baseball, starting pitcher. I think he might be seeing some major league time this year. Johnny Brito is someone maybe to look out for. He had some success. He's part of that Juan Soto trade. And yes, I know people are not going to be happy that they traded Juan Soto. I think that is going to be addition by subtraction. And I get it. Juan Soto is a really good player, but there was too many cooks in the kitchen there in San Diego to a negative there. And when you're looking at it, Fernando Tatis MVP, I think, is an interesting future potentially as well. Hung Sung Kim on the top end, hitting leadoff, I like, because Andrew Bogarts, Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado, Jake Cronenworth. This is still a good lineup as well.
It's a damn good lineup. They were good before Soto. And I think they'll get back to that.
Wins, I think, is very, very doable. And plus 210 to make the playoffs. I expect some positive regression here from the boys in San Diego. I like the Padres an awful lot this year over the win total to make the playoffs. I see them, and I see them making the playoffs. I see Miami and Arizona dropping out this year, and I see the Padres and the Mets taking their spots. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it here this season. But yeah, no, I like the Padres a lot. That was the one team I really, really wanted to talk about during the show, was the San Diego Padres over their win total over 82.5 plus 210 to win to make the playoffs.
I love that. And you had me right up into the Mets.
People are going to sleep on the Mets. I can talk about them too. People are going to sleep on them.
I know. Listen, I root for your Mets. You know that. I root for your Mets. Unlike Tim, he doesn't root for my Tigers ever. I love the
Excuse me. This is coming from somebody who's currently sitting on the Tigers to make the playoffs at plus 190. Thank you very much.
I love the Padres before Juan Soto. And then they added Juan Soto, and it didn't work. It didn't make sense. I respect them for realizing that it didn't make sense. It did not work, and we're moving on, right? And now here's what it is. I think that's actually a really good thing in the locker room. I think that lineup's solid. I think that rotation's pretty solid. I like them. I like their win total over. I don't hate to make the playoffs, but I don't know if they make noise, or anything like that.
They bounce in the wild card round. They're a team that they'll lose to the Dodgers in the first round, or they'll lose to the Braves in the first round, or something like that.
Right.
Or no, it wouldn't be one of them. It would be somebody like Philadelphia or the Central winner or something like that. It'd be a wild card type of situation, or
right.
They're in that 4-5 matchup against a team I would like to talk about for just a couple minutes here. And I know it's my team, the New York Mets.
All right, let's do it.
Tim, could you just let me talk for a second?
Just you do you, Pikachu. Go ahead.
Yeah. When we look at the New York Mets this year, I think this is a good buy low spot on them. And I get it. People are going to look at the rotation and not be excited. I mean, I don't need to be full screen for this. You guys can come back on here.
Okay. Sorry.
I think they have one of the best pitchers in baseball on the front end of the rotation, potential Cy Young winner, Kodai Senga. I know a lot of people really like Senga at the top of the rotation. And then they take a bunch of guys who will give you 5-6 innings and hand it off to the bullpen, which the Mets have worked to improve in this offseason. They got Jorge Lopez they got Jorge Lopez in the offseason. They got Jake Diekman in the offseason. They got Shintaro Fujinami in the offseason. And not to mention, to bolster the bullpen, they got one of the biggest additions of the whole offseason. The best closer in baseball is healthy again. Play the trumpets. Edwin Diaz is going to be back this year. And I think that shores up the bullpen that the Mets did not have last year.
Last year, the bullpen was a problem.
Huh?
Right. Last year, the bullpen
was a major problem. And that's what happens when you have Brooks Raley and Adam Ottavino trying to save games for you. When the real guy that should be doing it is number 39. And he will be then this year. I think you can look at maybe Edwin Diaz to have the most saves in baseball because when the Mets do win baseball games, it's not going to be blowouts. They're a team that likes to make their fans drink all game long. This is Edwin Diaz, I think, to lead the league in saves is a good look because it's going to be a lot of their bullpen because, I mean, their other starter arms are going to be Jose Quintana, Luis Severino, Sean Manaea, Adrian Hauser. I think that Sean Manaea pickup is very underrated, and people are going to overlook it. They added a good defensive glove in the outfield in Harrison Bader, and not to mention it felt like that entire team underachieved or were injured last year. Brandon Nimmo, I think, was one of the only ones that didn't. Jeff McNeil was hurt. Lindor underachieved. He was playing hurt for a little bit of the year. Alonso played really well. Sterling Marte was hurt basically the entire year. And I think we can see a breakout year from Francisco Alvarez. So that's another one I was looking at here. Same win total as the San Diego Padres. And I see this team as a very similar type of team. A team that massively underachieved last year, that was really good with basically the same core 2 years ago. This is the same Mets team with basically the same core that won 101 baseball games 2 years ago. So over 82.5, and to make the playoffs at plus 165 is something I'm looking at as well.
Love both of them. Let me just start there. I do believe this lineup is legit. I think this rotation is legit. I question the bullpen, hopefully, and I worry Diaz is back to full form. Only time will show us that, right? But I love the 82 and a half. I love that over. I think here's the thing. You look at their division. The Braves are the Braves. Philly takes a step back. The Marlins take a step back. The Nationals are what they are.
I think the Nationals are going to be I'm not saying a playoff team, but they're going to win 70 games this year. I'll say the Marlins come in last place. The Nationals
71 last year.
Fourth.
And we're
I was going to say the Nationals don't finish last this year. It'll be the Marlins.
They fight for the bottom of that division. And then, Atlanta, and I could see the Mets.
If Atlanta doesn't win the division, something went horribly wrong.
Oh, for sure. There's bad injuries.
They should win this division 99 out of 100 times.
Here's
the one time is a hot Phillies team that wins 100 games.
When I say Phillies had 90 wins last year, they take a step back. I'm not saying they're going to not break 80, but I think they're in the low 80s, that 80 to 85 range.
I don't see them dropping back.
I think
they're a wild card team again.
I took Philly to win the division. I took a shot with Philly to win the division at 390. Just because
I don't mind the value there.
I wasn't taking the Braves at minus 220, so it wasn't worth it there.
I wanted to take a shot
in the division prop. It would be a shot there.
Jason Spurley in the house. What's up, men? Ready to rock in some baseball? Absolutely. We already cashed a college baseball winner. Already cashed one.
We're probably going to get a loser, though, because Indiana's down 6-3 to Duck.
Oh, come on, Tim. We don't need that kind of negativity starting the season off.
You know what? In the early games, I'll take a 1-1 up $20. That's fine.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Let's talk about we talked about the AL or the National League a little bit. Let's talk about the AL West. Houston, I think it's Houston's division to lose.
Which is crazy because the reigning champ is in that division. I would like to give out one play in this division. I like the Astros to win this division, but let me find what the numbers is on this one so I can give out the right numbers on this team. We are looking at the reigning World Series champion Texas Rangers. And let me write down the number here. It's 89.5 for them here, their win total. And we are taking it under their win total, 89.5. And we are going to grab them to miss the playoffs at plus 170. I think we see some major negative regression this year from the Texas Rangers. They had a nice year last year. They're the World Series champ, and their total is only 89.5. I mean, this is a team that just won the World Series.
They had 90 wins last year.
Yeah. So when we look at this Texas Rangers team, I just think they just got hot in the playoffs. And I mean, when you look at what this Rangers team has, they have two injury-prone. I think they can do exactly what the Mets did last year. They have two injury-prone pitchers in the front end of their rotation named Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer. Where have we seen this one before? And then, are we really going to see Andrew Heaney have a good year again? Are we really going to see John Grant have a good year again? Are we really going to see Dane Dunning have a good year again? I'm gonna challenge them to do so. That bullpen is going to be okay. They don't throw me. And granted, one player that I think you should keep an eye out for is former Florida Gator Wyatt Langford. He might be breaking the team this year. Good. Basically, a year after being drafted. The kid was drafted in 2023. So he was a first round, 4th overall out of Florida. Now, granted, this is going to be a fun team this year. Evan Carter is somebody you can look at to maybe win the Rookie of the Year. But I don't see them doing what they did last year, and I think that division's tough. I like the Mariners a little bit. I love the Astros this year. I think the Astros win the World Series this year. I think if I had to take a team preseason to win the World Series, it's the Houston Astros. And because they didn't win last year, there's value on them to win this year. I was seeing like 10-1 on them when last year I got plus 650 on them. Like they're a team that
they're always in it.
They're always in it, and we should treat them as pencil them in the ALCS because that's a Houston Astros Invitational. And when it comes to this Texas Rangers team, the Astros win the division. So now we're looking at the wild card spots. Well, guess what? I think the Mariners can finish above the Texas Rangers, but let's take the Mariners out of the mix for a second here. I think the Baltimore Orioles have something to say about it. I think the New York Yankees have something to say about it. I think the Toronto Blue Jays have something to say about it. Potentially the Tampa Bay Rays have something to say about it. Minnesota Twins can have something to say about it. The Kansas City Royals can have something to say about that. Like there's a bunch of different teams that could easily take those wild card spots away from the Texas Rangers. The Detroit Tigers win the division.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry.
I like them to win the division.
Kings of the Central.
Win the wild card. So, okay, let's just say the Twins win the division. The Detroit Tigers will have something to say about that. All right. So, I just see a lot tougher competition here for the Texas Rangers heading into this year to make the wild card. And I, at plus 170, will take a shot for the Rangers to miss the playoffs outright.
Tim Earl, thoughts on all of that?
I want to just mention the one team I have to win the division, and it's the team up in Seattle. I love the Mariners, and this is going to be a very, very solid, underrated rotation. I know a lot of people kind of mentioned it last year, but this team has only gotten better. I love George Kirby. He was an all-star last year. I think he has a chance to win Cy Young. Obviously, I didn't take him to win Cy Young because I had three others, which one of them was Dean Kramer, who's already out long-term. So that's kind of rough. Luis Castillo is going to be another solid pitcher. I know Nick hated him last year. I think he's going to have a solid year. Logan Gilbert. I loved Logan Gilbert last year. He made us a lot of money last year. I think he's going to be another one. You get a step up from Brash. I think he's going to be a solid pitcher. And Bryce Miller, who I really like as well. He came up last year. He pitched a bunch of games. I really like that rotation. I think that rotation is a top 4 rotation in baseball. Like, I legit think that team could have one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. Not to mention their bullpen is going to be absolutely solid. And then you can even go and look at their players. And you look at their lineup. Julio Rodriguez. I don't really have to dive deep into him. I think he has a big year. J.P. Crawford has really gotten the groove in the majors. I really like him. Cal Riley, solid everyday piece. Eugenio Suarez, really nice pickup. Like, you look at Teoscar Hernandez, phenomenal pickup. Mm-hmm. This is a team that I think is deep. They've got one of the best rotations in baseball. They've got one of the best bullpens in baseball. This team is going to be very under heavy because they're going to win those 4-3 games. They're going to win those 3-1 games.
They're defensive minded, yeah. And
they're going to win 90 to 95 games this year, and they're going to win the division.
Wow, that's a lot.
And I forgot to mention, they're one of 2 AL teams. Mariners 28-1 to win the World Series. I also have them and Baltimore out of the NL.
So
I don't hate that look in the Mariners at all.
I don't. That I think they move forward, okay, from what they did last year at 88 wins. Low 90s, I could give you that. I think the Rangers stay about where they're at as far as win totals at 90. I think Houston takes a step back. And here's why, though. Sooner or later, that train's got to slow down, which has been the Astros. They're another year older. That's pretty much it, is my philosophy on the Astros. It's just another year. And they played more baseball than anybody has in the last 5 years. Like, you know what I mean? They are playing a lot. And it's a long season, and they're just a year older. I'm probably could be, wrong on that. I don't think they take a
Astros team is still one of the best in baseball. We're not saying that they're not, but
right. Here's the thing: is that division finished Astros 90 wins, Texas 90 wins, Seattle 88. So when I say Astros take a step back, let's say the Astros and Seattle flips the switch, and they're at 90, 91 wins, and the Astros are at 88, 87 wins, 89, and Texas stays the same right at 90. The Astros are eliminated. If ever, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't hate them to miss the playoffs at plus 325. I think it's good value considering that division. But, you know, that's not necessarily, you know, and plus Brian Gillihan's he's a Texas Ranger fan. So I would get a lot of crap if I went against his Rangers. Everybody hates your Rangers, Brian. I'm just saying. No, I'm just kidding. All right, last division I want to talk about is the AL East.
Before we bring that up, DJ asked twice if you guys had a free $500 3-game parlay, what would be your 3 picks?
Well, there's one hockey game on, so I don't know if I can
use it tomorrow.
Which is great because we can go ahead and jump into the world of college baseball. And if you want to have a little bit of fun with it, what can I get you that's decent price? We'll go them. Plus 118 for a 3-teamer. Coastal Carolina, Vanderbilt, NC State. Plus 118. All money line. Have fun. There you go. There's your free parlay.
Don't forget to add the wings in there. The Red Wings, so they're a little multi-sport parlay. You get a little plus one.
Add ECU, and add ECU, it's plus 145. There you go. Sign up. Of course, the Astros are the team. Of course.
They still won the division last year.
All three. I think the Mariners, the Rangers, and the Astros. I mean, you could throw them all in a hat and pick 2 out, and the third one is the one that doesn't make the playoffs. You know what I mean? I think that division is that good.
All 3 could make it.
Yeah, I think 2 out of 3 make it very similar to last year, but it could be all 3. And
would you be surprised if going into the playoffs we get Baltimore winning the East, the Tigers winning Central, Seattle winning the West, and your wild card teams are the Rangers, the Astros. And the Yankees?
Yeah, and the Yankees.
All right, here we go. So I'm hearing this talk with the Astros and the Mariners and the Rangers, and everybody's gonna sleep on them to win the division.
Fucking say it! Don't you fucking say it!
plus 20,000. We're gonna ride the wave with the Braves. Yeah.
What the fuck? Oakland?
Yeah, Oakland.
All right.
Oakland.
You can still hear them.
Apparently, Nick hit the bottles already, so it is what it is.
Yeah, Nick already had a bottle.
By the way, nice new sup.
I don't have. You got to throw like $5 on it, right? I mean, just because. What's the win total?
I'll take your action.
57.5.
Oh my god!
I have it written down here.
So they got to hit 60, right?
I have it written down. Oakland A's over 57.5 wins.
Hey, listen, I like it. God damn it, I see it. Listen, about a while ago, the Houston Astros, within 10, whatever, before they went on their run and have won multiple World Series and stuff like that, one of the worst baseball teams in baseball. Like it was like I make car payment after car payment after car payment betting against the Astros because they were so bad. So in baseball, worst to first is not that hard.
No, and there's always a team. Not always. That's NFL. Never mind. That always comes from worst to first each year. But I wouldn't be surprised. But I feel like that team is Kansas City for me. But Jason asked if we missed NL Central talk. They are all going to suck. I like the Milwaukee Brewers.
I have nothing in it.
I hate that division, so I don't do anything in it. Like I'm not good betting with the Cubs or the Brewers and the Pirates. I mean, I made money on the Pirates at the beginning of the year last year.
I maybe there's stupider bets than taking a shot at the Pirates to win the division.
I don't think so.
But with as bad as that division is, would it surprise anybody if somebody like Pittsburgh won it?
Well, Milwaukee's got to fall off. They're not going to repeat 92 wins next year. So I don't know how much they fall off. Mid-80s probably wins that division. I mean, the Cubs had 83. Reds had 82. Pirates 76. And they had 76 after a great first half of baseball.
Yeah.
If everybody remembers last season, they were one of the best teams going into the All-Star break.
Yep.
And then second half of the year,
Garbage.
Flip the switch like nobody's business. White Sox. Okay, so AL Central.
I have a future. Joe Kryptonite, ready? I have a plus 450 future for your White Sox. Fewest wins in baseball.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say not for the division.
Yeah. No, I like that a lot. I actually like that a lot.
I have Colorado over, and Oakland. Oakland's gonna be bad, but are they going to be as bad as they were last year?
Oakland's total's 57, so I mean it's not.
Oakland,
and I think you're getting value plus 450 for them to have the worst record in baseball, not the Cardinals. Cardinals are always in talk to win the division, yes, and I'm hoping to see a big year out of Alec Burleson. I really hope to see that. That
division, though, speaking of the NL Central, is just so
man.
It's just so bad that there's always one team that just takes that division. And I don't know if that's going to happen this year. And it could be any of the five. That's the problem. On any given year, I really do believe that. But the White Sox are the worst team in the AL Central.
By far.
I think Kansas City sticks real quick. We went over the AL Central first, though. But we think White Sox are just bad. I think that Kansas City Royals take a step up. I think Minnesota Twins come way down. I think the Tigers make a step forward. I think the Guardians are better than these guys think. But everybody likes the
mediocre at best.
Tigers got a nice little farm system as well. We mentioned the farm system. What is it?
We've been saying that for years.
Yeah, no, but like it's ranked for real this time. I know that's the problem. I'm tired of hearing this shit. Tigers are young and they're about to be good. I've been saying that for 5 years. Don't get me wrong on Tigers. All right. AL East.
You already know what I like in the AL East.
You like Baltimore? Next question.
I Baltimore, yes. And I've been high on them the past 2 years, so I'm not going to jump off the bandwagon now.
So the Yankees, 82 wins last year. You made fun of them all year. Last place Yankees, all that shit. They didn't finish in last place, by the way. The Red Sox said, hold my beer in that division. So with 78 wins. But the Yankees are not an 82-win team. I know we all hate the Yankees, the Stankies, whatever. But they're not. They're better than 82 wins.
Their total is 93.5.
Huh?
Their win total is 93.5.
I don't think that's what I'm saying. It's better than the 82 they were last year, but I don't think it's 93.
No.
I think it's high 80s.
See, the American League East is a difficult division for me because I have one team circled that I would like to get futures on, but not right away. Because when I looked at the start of the schedule here for the Baltimore Orioles, all right, this is how they start the year. Home against the Angels, home against the Royals, at Pittsburgh, at Boston, last place team. They play 1, 2, 3 last place teams, 3 out of 4 last place teams to start the year. Milwaukee, which we don't expect to be as good this year. I still think they can win the division. Twins, which we expect to take a step back. At Kansas City, a last place team from last year. At the LA Angels, not a good team. And Oakland, a last place team, one of the worst teams in baseball. On April 29th is when their schedule gets somewhat more difficult, when they get the Yankees, the Reds, the Nationals, but then the Diamondbacks, the Blue Jays, and the Mariners. I think if you want somebody not named the Baltimore Orioles in that division, wait till April 29th when the Orioles get done playing their cupcake schedule for the first month, and maybe look at the Jays or something like that, or the Rays. I think the Baltimore Orioles could be very similar to what the Rays did last year because the Rays had a very easy schedule to start the year, and they kicked the shit out of everybody. I could very easily see the Orioles start 21 8 this year because they play an easy schedule to start off the year, and then once their schedule starts getting tougher, they start coming back down to earth, and we can see teams, and we can get much better prices on a team like Toronto or Tampa Bay, or even, we hate them, the Yankees to win the division. Maybe that's the move here, is wait for the Orioles to start 21-8 or whatever it's going to be with that easy schedule, and grab the Yankees to win the division.
That's a great. Honestly, I like that strategy because I think we'll get more value there, and I'm not high on the Blue Jays. I'm not though. I'm usually not every year though, but I think the Rays and the Yankees. I think that's a 3-team race in that division, and it's the Orioles and the Rays, and possibly the Yankees. But I don't think
the Rays are going to be good at all.
I think the Rays are going to.
I've learned to not doubt the Rays,
right? Because they win ugly.
Yep.
They fucking win ugly, and I hate it. Jason Spurley's birthday is today. First of all, Tim's going to sing you happy birthday, Marilyn Monroe style, and then he's going to get thoughts on Villanova over 140.5.
No singing, but I have not bet a college basketball total in months. I think we bet 2 all year.
All right, well, give him a play for today. It's his birthday.
All right. Let's pull it up.
Now, listen, I'm gonna give you one because Tim's gonna be mad about this because he's gonna want to do it. So I'm gonna give you mine first. It's Yale.
That was our free pick video yesterday. I was gonna, and you know what? We'll double up the Ivy League. Give me Columbia.
Well, we're doubling up the. Well, you want to go Harvard too? No, don't get carried away. I have.
I need to add Yale to the site. That's right. Thank you for reminding me.
I'm not.
And nobody got the reference in our free pick video. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, right. Watch the free pick video that me and Tim did on the Yale game. It's on picksparlays.net or the YouTube.
It's on Winning Free Picks.
Or it's on Winning. Damn it. We do videos for a few channels. It's on winningfreepicks.com. It's on the YouTube. It's on the channel. And it's a good. And if you get the movie bonus or the movie reference,
TV show
reference, whatever. If you get the damn reference in the video, Tim will sing you happy birthday on TikTok, Marilyn Monroe style.
No, I will not.
No, I won't.
If you want an embarrassing video on TikTok, there's already me dancing to Shakira, Hips Don't Lie in a hula skirt and a coconut bra.
Well, that needed to be done.
Well, yeah. And I regret none of it.
Yeah.
I don't think you have an embarrassment bone in your body.
Not anymore. I don't really care.
Right. All right. That's going to do it for us, though. We appreciate everybody stopping by. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. If you haven't already, ring the bell for notifications. We're going to bounce on out of here. I'll be back next Friday. Maybe we'll have some more things to talk about or whatever besides college baseball. And maybe we'll look at some different things here. Second half of the NBA or something like that. NHL second half season 2. I'd like to get Nick Earl's thoughts on playoff picture. I know it's soon. It's real soon. A lot of hockey still left to play, but my Red Wings are creeping.
We were talking about that last night.
All we need's a goalie.
Huh?
I said my Red Wings are creeping on the playoffs. All we need's a goalie. Just somebody.
Sebastian Cossa.
Huh?
Sebastian Cossa.
Bring him up. Bring him up. Like, it's time. Like, I mean, we don't want to bring him up too early. Let's wait till he's 45 years old. He's 21. I think. Maybe 20. I don't know. Good luck unless you're against this. I'm Detroit Lenny Picks and Parlays, Earl Sports Bets, Tim and Nick Earl. We appreciate you guys on the show as well. Don't forget to follow their channel, Earl Sports Bets, YouTube and otherwise. Like, share, subscribe, ring the bell. Peace out. Let's go baseball.